Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of N.Y.N.E.R, a podcast of the Alex Kirsch Project here in association with 365 Broadcasting. If you haven't done so, go ahead and hit like, hit share, and share this podcast out. And let's get as many listeners as we possibly can. If you're in the mood also for more wonderful podcasts and great content, feel free to go to our website at www.365livebroadcasting.com. That's where you'll find all-encompassing podcast entertainment, whatever you want to talk about. You want to hear about politics, you want to hear about brash talk, you want to talk about people that are having conversations and while eating desserts. I mean, we've got it all right over here at 365 Broadcasting. So feel free to just jump right on over to 365livebroadcasting.com and listen for all your favorite podcasts right there. But hey, on the subject of podcasts, are you a movie buff? Me too. I'm a huge movie buff. That's what N.Y.N.E.R is all about. It is the overall encompassing and entertainment broadcasts, specializing in movies, TVs, books, video games, whatever you have it. This is what we have to offer. However, be advised, you are, however, entering a spoiler zone. So, if you've seen these movies and you don't want to be spoiled, just wait until you've seen the movies first, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, getting right into it. Hopefully everybody is having a great weekend so far. It's been crazy down here in Georgia because it'll be hot and humid, and next thing you know, here comes a rainstorm, just comes sweeping through the valley, and next thing you know, we are suffering at the hands of the weather gods. It's just absolutely a nightmare at times, but it is what it is. We try to make do with the best we can. So anyway, I thought I would go ahead and talk about the 3 movies that I consider some of the worst movies that I have ever seen. Now, I want everybody to understand something, okay? These movies are a matter of personal opinion, okay? Just because these movies may not be on your list does not necessarily mean that we have to agree on it, but that's okay. I want everybody to understand something. There's a reason why I picked these movies in particular. It's just because these movies have A-list actors. All of these actors and actresses that are in it are well known. These people are actually pretty, awesome at most other movies they've been in. But these movies they were in, they just stunk for some reason. They were absolutely atrocious. So, without further ado, let's go right on ahead and get into the show. So, the first movie we're going to talk about is Alien Covenant. Now, for those that are not familiar with the Alien series, the Alien is essentially what it's called is a xenomorph, which is basically a creature that is born out of the hosts that is created. So, long story short, it's essentially this creature that has the ability to, in a way, take up the shape and the abilities of creatures that it is born from. So what happens is, anytime a person comes in contact with one of these eggs, something called a facehugger hops out and grabs you in the face, and then it impregnates you into your chest cavity. And then after a few days, a chest buster comes out of your body. For those that are familiar with the Alien franchise, that's what it's all about. Well, Alien Covenant was the sequel to the movie Prometheus. Now, mind you, Prometheus was not a good movie, okay? It had some good moments to it, but I felt like it was trying entirely too hard to be like a wow factor. But honestly, there was no wow factor. But we're not going to really talk about Prometheus. We're talking about Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant tried so damn hard to be, to kind of sum everything up, just to kind of bring everything full circle, just to kind of see the origins of the alien. And guess what? It was directed by Ridley Scott. Now, the people that starred in this movie are heavy hitter actors. We're talking about Michael Fassbender, who was in Inglourious Bastards. He was also played as Magneto in the X-Men newer versions. You got Billy Crudup. You've got Danny McBride. You've got, I completely forgot that Jussie Smollett was in this movie. But the thing is, though, is that these are all A-list actors except for Jussie Smollett. Who cares about that guy, right? But anyway, what makes this so compelling is just for the simple fact that this movie just sucks. It stinks. Everything about it is just terrible, okay? The acting in it was atrocious. The screenplay was poorly done. The story was poorly done. There was nothing appealing about this movie whatsoever. And I just couldn't understand why anybody was so driven to actually watch this damn movie. Everything about it, just nothing was good about it. And the thing is it on IMDb, it got a 6.4 out of 10, which to me is crap. It is absolute 100% crap. Honestly, I gave it a 1, just for the simple fact that there was nothing appealing about the movie. There was nothing compelling about it. It just was absolute crap. The special effects were about the only redeeming factor for it, but the thing is, when it comes down to a wow factor, there has to be substance behind the wow factor, which there was none. There was no wow factor in the movie whatsoever. And the thing was, they didn't even make an attempt to put a story behind it. They tried to put Danny McBride in a serious role. Danny McBride is not meant for serious roles. I'm sorry, but these are just terrible movies. All in all, I just don't get it. I don't understand it, and I just cannot ever even come close to considering why they should have just, they never should have made this movie. Ridley Scott should not have been so compelled to make a movie that was going to do so poorly. So that's just the way I'm seeing it right now. The next movie I'm going to talk about real quickly is The D Train. The D Train was filmed in 2015. It stars Jack Black, James Marsden, Kathryn Hahn, and Jeffrey Tambor. Essentially, in this movie, it's about Dan Landsman, Jack Black, who's never been the cool guy, and he's the person that's in charge of his 20-year high school reunion, and he's trying to get everybody together, but nobody wants to come back to school because, first off, this guy is not Mr. Popular whatsoever. But here's what kills me, right? He finally sees somebody that was the most popular guy in high school actually shows up and becomes, he doesn't show up, but he's on TV. He's an actor. He's like, oh my God, this was the most popular guy that I've ever seen. He's the most popular guy that we ever had in school. I need to go down and find him. People will want to come to this reunion then. It was a weird movie. It was a very, very poorly done. There was nothing funny about the movie whatsoever. It was really, really awkward because when he finally goes down to catch up with James Marsden, who plays Oliver Lawless, they go out for a night out of the town and then actually end up having drunken sex. Yes, you heard that correct. James Marsden and Jack Black in the movie have a drunken sex scene, which is completely awkward. It was meant to be funny, but it was bizarre. It was weird. I don't think I've ever been so uncomfortable, and stuff like that doesn't bother me, but just the scene itself just wasn't funny. It was meant to be funny, and I didn't find it humorous whatsoever. And the thing was, the storyline in and of itself is just absolutely atrocious. There's nothing appealing about this movie whatsoever. But for some reason, they thought that this was a good idea, and this got a 5.0 out of 10. Why? How the hell did this movie even break 5? How did it even break 4? How the hell did it even break 2, for crying out loud? That part I do not completely understand. That's right. I give it a boo 100%. Because the thing is eventually the whole entire reunion just completely falls apart because James Marsden's character tells him, is like, you know what? We might have had sex, but you're not even in my top 10 lay. Who the hell thought this was a good idea? How can you sit in front of a script read and think that this is compelling, discussion right here? It isn't. It's just a horrible, atrociously bad movie. Yes, I absolutely hate it. I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That's why it's on this list right here. I mean, boo, an absolute stinker of a movie right here. The third movie right here, I just watched it this last year. All right? I like British movies. I like British television. I really wish I hadn't seen this. All right? It's called Christmas Survival. Two sisters and their families spend, or rather endure, Christmas at their late parents' dilapidated country house. This movie, from start to finish, was one of the most uncomfortable Christmas movies I'd ever seen. And I've seen Saving Christmas with Kirk Cameron, and that was an atrociously bad Christmas movie in and of itself. I was completely dumbfounded by how bad it was. I just did not understand who wrote this screenplay. The cast was awful. The cast is Julian Ovenden, Gemma Welland, Jolie Richardson, Michael Landis, and Sally Phillips, and Patricia Hodge. These are all famous actors and actresses from the UK. But this movie was awful. None of the characters were at all memorable. There was nothing wonderful about them. There was no gripping story. I had no relation to any of the characters. I mean, for crying out loud, it was so bizarre because the house that they're cooking inside is falling apart. It's completely just coming apart. And what's killing me the most is the fact that nobody realizes just how bad this movie was, even towards the credits. Even the credits were bad. I was waiting for the credits to come around. I really thought that this movie was nothing more than just an absolute shit show, honestly. From start to finish, this movie was bad. It was boring. Nothing is good about this movie. I'm telling you, if you love Christmas movies, do not watch this one at all. I swear to you, if you try to watch this movie, you're going to regret it, honestly. I mean, another 5.0 out of 10. No effing way. I'm sorry. There is nothing good about it. It's that bad. There's nothing good about it. The acting is just so atrociously bad. Like, there's just no chemistry between any of the characters, and they tried so damned hard to make it appealing. Honestly, the director, James Dearden, good God, I don't think he has any idea what he's doing in this movie. And I might seem like I'm being too hard because I've never made a movie before, but I know good quality movies. And like I said, a good movie is determined based upon its cinematography, its CGI special effects, if it has it, its musical score, its acting, its voice acting, the story, and whatever. Those are the things that I think I look for in the movie, and this had nothing in it that was good about it. I didn't even feel any kind of emotional connection with any of the characters. That's bad. That is really, really freaking bad. I mean, these are all three really horrendously bad movies that I would not recommend to my... I mean, I think, like, if you were to use these movies, you could probably use them as a means of torturing your enemies, maybe, because they would tell you whatever the hell was on their mind right there, because they're that bad. I mean, they might get a kick out of Alien Covenant, but I would consider that torture. I mean, if you want to torture me, just have me watch any of these three movies, and I'll tell you whatever the hell you want to know. Not really, but you get my point, though. So... these three movies, once again, Alien Covenant, a horrible movie, a stinker. It ruined the Alien franchise. The D-Train, Jack Black's worst movie, hands down. Really bad movie. Christmas Survival, the worst Christmas movie you could ever watch. Hands down. The absolute worst. This is just an absolute nightmare. Anyway, hopefully everybody tunes in tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. All right? 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight on Facebook. Hopefully everybody has a good evening.